Incremental Improvements! So if nothing else, over the course of Incremental Improvements, I'm going to improve on that intro. Welcome to episode 2 of Incremental Improvements. So I hope you're all drinking your local 2-4s from episode 1, what we learned. Today, I've decided to improve my stand-up comedy, but just incrementally. I am going to learn the beginning parts of doing crowd work. I never do crowd work. Crowd work terrifies me. So my next guest, I'm so excited. I've brought in who I consider like one of the kings of, well, comedy overall, Canadian comedy, but certainly crowd work. And he is going to teach me, give me a few tips on learning to become a crowd work comic. So it's Seán Cullen, everybody. So I am admitting him in. And there he is. He's connecting.
Hello there.
Hello. Hello, Seán Cullen.
Who are you?
I'm Joanne, the girl who lives in your computer.
Oh, I never even known that.
Here I am.
You look great.
Thank you. So do you. Thank you so much for joining me on Incremental Improvements, where it's the show where I'm dealing with my I don't know if you feel any panic about not doing all the things that you should be doing, improving yourself, but I'm dealing with my panic by improving incrementally.
I understand.
And today, I want to learn just the beginning parts of how to do crowd work. And, you know, I don't really actually think you need an introduction. Everybody knows who Seán Cullen is, but I am going to say why I asked you to teach me crowd work very briefly. And that I once saw, I've told you this story, but this is for everybody else who's listening, so sorry for the repeat. But Seán was once on stage at the Stratford Festival, and all the lights, what happened, Seán? Like all the lights went crazy or
There was
something?
a leak in the roof because there was a heavy rain and the lighting rig went down because it was short.
Right, so the lights go, so the show can't go on. And Seán happened to be on stage. And what did the stage manager yell down at you?
Did he say stretch or I don't remember.
He said like, you had a mic in front of you because your character had a mic, and he was like, "Hey, Seán, do you want to like do something with the audience?" And
oh yeah.
For most people would strike like a terror in them beyond fear. But you went on, and how was it, about half an hour?
About that.
Like he went on and talked to the audience and just riffed off what they were saying and sang songs that he was improvising. It is, to this day, and I've seen a lot of comedy in my life, one of the funniest things I have ever seen. And I know people are looking for content right now, so Stratford Festival, just saying, make that available, because I know you filmed it. So funny. So this is an incremental improvement, Seán.
Yeah.
I am not going to leave this conversation able to do that. Now, I'm a stand-up comic, you're a stand-up comic, but I think it's fair to say that you're funnier than I am.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, everyone has tastes that are different. They might find you incrementally funnier than me.
Well, you're very sweet. You're a gentleman, Seán.
I am.
So, okay, my question for you then is, give me a tip. Like, what is your, so just to set the stage here, I've never done crowd work. The words, "Where are you from?" have never been uttered from my mouth. So what is your biggest tip for a comedian to learn how to do an incremental tip? This can't be the whole shebang.
Right. I think one of the first things you should realize as a stand-up comedian is that you have the microphone, that you are the powerful one in the room. Everyone can hear everything you say. And the people in the audience are not powerful in that way. You are stronger than them, and you have the control. And that's where, you know, I think a lot of comedians are afraid.
Yeah.
And there's fear there, but you're not. You shouldn't fear. You are the master of all you survey. People have come, one, to see you and to see the show. and they want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you have to show them that they didn't pick a dumb night to come out, and just be confident and assume, even, just know that what you're doing is good and that they will enjoy it.
Okay, but with my comedy, I do know that. So with
Mhm.
my jokes, I'm like, my jokes, I know that. But this
Yeah.
is why I don't do crowd work, because how do you know what you're gonna do is worth them listening to it?
Well, here's the thing, I think that the big fear with doing like dealing with hecklers or crowd work is that you're afraid that they'll be funnier than you are.
Yeah,
And uh, that rarely happens because you are a professional
yeah.
and you have training and craft, and they
Mhm.
do not.
Right.
But even if they do manage to be funny, you have to accept that and just roll with it,
Yes.
and there's always an opportunity for more to come from what they've said. And I love crowd work because I love improvisation. That's
Yeah.
the biggest part of my show. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing that sets me apart from other people. I mean, if I did the same show over and over again, exactly, which is why I have so much. I don't love theater as much as other people. I don't find the security of theater to be as fulfilling for me.
Yeah.
Knowing that everything's going to go exactly the same. I like it to be different all the time. But with crowd work, I just, it's like an improvisational
Yeah.
skill. When in improv, the first thing they say is don't deny anything that people give you. And uh, that's if I say, where are you from? And they say, I'm from fucking Mars. And you go like, oh, really? It's amazing to know that someone can survive on Mars. This is exciting.
But
Uh,
this is my question, like, so so this is my fear. You've inadvertently honed in on my fear. Like, I forget everything. I don't know if it's my age. I don't know if it's something deteriorating in my brain, but I have no more references. So when somebody says, I say, where are you from? And they say, Albuquerque. I don't know anything about Albuquerque. And you seem to always, or maybe you're just so good at fog and mirrors that it appears that way, but you seem to always know about Albuquerque. So
I'm
what
just
do
going
you
to
do in
take
that? Huh?
I'm just going to take what you said there, Albuquerque,
Yeah.
right? First of all, you don't have to know that Albuquerque is in New Mexico,
It's in a place you know. I wasn't even sure it was a place.
and it's a funny name. But what it is it's a funny name,
Yeah.
Albuquerque. And you find whatever hook you can out of it, what they've given you. Like if they said Boise, like Boise, like the sound is often a thing that triggers me when people say something.
Yeah.
Then you can start, like, find the hook in what they say. And it doesn't have to mean you're the smartest person in the world and you know everything about Albuquerque, but just saying Albuquerque, that's a funny place to come from.
Well, how do you pick the face in the
Of the
audience?
person,
How do you
usually, it's funny. I think you pick someone who looks receptive. I usually pick someone who's enjoying the show.
Mhm.
When things go wrong is I find comedians, when you're on stage, you're looking around, everyone's laughing except that guy or that woman. And you're going like, what are you not liking about this? And
all I'm thinking?
everybody becomes fixated on the one person who doesn't like the show. And they're usually right in the front row. And you go like, why did you come to a comedy show if you're not going to enjoy it? But that I think it's something you learn as you go on in comedy is don't give in to that black hole of negativity. Try and find someone who's smiling, and if you ask them something, they'll be receptive. Look for a receptive face.
So I'm going to recap what you've said so far for anybody who's just make sure I'm absorbing this incremental improvement. So the next time I'm on stage and I'm killing, like just
Mhm.
killing. So I've decided they love me. This is the moment for me to do some crowd work. So I look out into the audience, I ignore the frowny faces, and I pick the receptive looking person. I say, "Where are you from?" They say a city, which I will not recognize.
Mhm.
Already established that. I won't know where it is. And so then I desperately hope it has a funny sound and riff on that. So it's like, "You're from Sweden."
Yes.
Just go with,
Well, there's
I'm encapsulating what you're telling me?
yes. Well, there's two ways of going with it too. Like you can go, people love when you're like, oh, like I think generally comics can do, Sweden, oh, that's great. Wow, what are you doing here? Uh, I like to go, Sweden, I hear it's full of idiots. And usually, or Sweden, didn't a horse shoot a man there last week? Try
Aw,
and make something about it. Not the other strategy is to make it absolutely the opposite of what people are expecting you to talk about in
all
the
right.
world.
I think I could best learn from watching. So would
Okay.
you humor me?
Mhm.
Will you, if I go off for a second and come back as an audience member, will you do some crowd work with me?
Of course I will.
Will you? Okay. So I'm gonna it's gonna be me when I come back. You maybe
Okay.
aren't gonna recognize me,
All right.
but it is gonna. I might just lean. I might just see if I can do this by just lean, leaning. Oh, I'm really going in for a lean. When I come back, I'm gonna be somebody totally different.
All right.
I'm gonna be a very different person. I might be shorter. All right.
Hi.
Hey,
Are you enjoying the show?
really good.
Oh, good. Are you cold?
A little bit. I'm always cold. I
What
knew
part
you
of
were going to talk to me when I sat in the front row.
well, that's fair. I mean, it is a conversation. Comedy's a conversation. So why is your head so cold all the
Well, I just thought it looked cool.
time? It doesn't look cool at all. But good for you to make an effort. That's the first step
Thank
in
you very
becoming a
much.
real person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So
I hope that was all right.
that was very, you nailed that. Uh, I don't think many people would wear a toque. But see, you took the nice route. That's the thing that I like about you. Most comics would have skewered me a little bit for wearing a
Yeah, well,
toque.
the thing is, I'm generally like niceness myself.
Yeah.
So I don't like to crush people and make fun of the way they look. And, I like to kind of make them part of the show. My philosophy of comedy is it's stand-up comedy is it's a conversation with a weird conversation, but it's a conversation where you are doing the talking and they're doing the listening and their response is their emotion or their laughter.
Yes.
So, you don't have good conversations with people you're shitting on all the time.
Maybe I'll do 6 of these with you, and then after crowd work, you can teach me how to do that absurd, super fun, improvised comedy that you do.
That's absolutely possible.
Yeah, because
It's
I
so
could.
easy to do.
No,
Anyone can do it.
no, they can't. Watch, I'll try. Yeah, see, there, I can't.
It's good. You gave it a good try, though.
That was fine.
Long.
Okay, and I can't go there because that makes me panic. Because now we're getting into I should be bettering myself as a human and all of these other things, and I
Incremental.
can only handle the picking the smiling face and the funny sounds of the name of where they're living. Those are good tips. To wrap up, Seán,
Yes.
I'm gonna fangirl on you for a moment here. So
Hmm.
I think it's fair to say that we're friends.
Yes, we are.
Yes, but before we were friends,
Oh,
I way back in the day, I was a pretty big fan. Like, I'm still a very big fan, but now I'm a friend fan. So I think that's different. But you do something, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but you do something crowd work wise that I think is one of my favorite favorite things that I've ever seen a comedian do, and one of the best crowd work moments I've ever been a part of. And secretly in my fangirl heart, I've always wished that I was the recipient of this crowd work. So would you please, to end our episode, kill me with a food of my choice?
Sure, of course I will.
Yay. For anybody who doesn't know, well, you know what, doesn't, I'm not gonna kill the suspense.
Don't know what this is, you're not going to be impressed.
So do you want to ask me, or do you,
Sure.
should I just, so yeah, okay, do you go from the...
I am here tonight to share with you a thought, a dream I had when I was just a child, and the food of your choice will end your life tonight. Joanne, will you tell me which food would you choose to end your life tonight?
Cheddar cheese microwaved on white bread.
Cheddar cheese I will take, and I will take a slice of delicious Wonder Bread that is completely devoid of nutritional value, and I will put it on a plate, and I will take the cheese and lay it gently on the bread, and then I will put it in the microwave for 3 hours until it is extremely piping, bubbling hot, and then I will say, ready, and you will come in and say, where is my cheese on toast? And I will say, close your eyes, and you will say, very well, I wish love a surprise. Then I will slap the bubbling molten cheese onto your face, and it will slowly melt through your skull and destroy your brain, and your food of your choice will end your life tonight. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, that made me sweat. That made me laugh so hard I'm sweating.
Made me sweat.
This is a life dream of mine you just did. Like, this is like a 20-year life dream of mine.
You really need more dreams. More
Well,
better dreams.
I don't think anybody would argue with that.
No.
So Seán, before we go, thank you so much. Those are real tips. Like, I'm actually gonna, well, if this ever ends, and if any of us are actually ever doing live stand-up again, I'm gonna challenge myself to do some crowd work. I did think I should probably go to the mean person. Like, in my head, I thought you should always like go to that kind of meaner person and get them, like, have a little, but, and that's why I'm so afraid of it, because those people scare me. So why would I talk to them? But going to the happy, fun person, that's good advice. And then, because I won't recognize anything they say, go with the sounds that they're making.
Yes.
That's a good start.
That's a good hook.
It's a good start. Good start
Yes.
for me. Do you want to say anything about what you're doing in quarantine or after quarantine or anything at all?
Well, during quarantine, I'm doing a thing online on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram called the COVID-19 Online Comedy Fest. You can find it at hashtag COVID-19 Online Comedy Fest. It's a very long hashtag, and I'm regretting it but I thought I talked to a bunch of people, and we were going, let's all do a comedy fest online, and then only I did it, and it was sad. But I've been doing it. I've done about 150 posts now.
Oh my, I've seen some of them. They're very funny, but I had no idea the mass that you have.
It's ridiculous. And I have my friend, Steve the Potato, who's my co-host sometimes he makes an appearance. And it's music and comedy and stuff like that. I'm also doing Michael Landsberg, who's a journalist, a sports journalist in Toronto. He does the morning show on TSN Radio, and he's doing a show. He also is a big mental health advocate, and he's doing a show called Isolation Nation that you can tune into at sicknotweek.com. And I do some posts for him on that about mental health and being excited and happy, trying to enjoy yourself during the quarantine.
Yeah.
And I'm writing. I'll have a new movie out too. The Willoughbys just launched on Netflix. You can watch it now all over the world. And it's got...
Say it again. Say the name slower.
The Willoughbys.
The Willoughbys.
Yes, and it's got Ricky Gervais, Maya Rudolph, Terry Crews.
See, now you're making me feel, I'm very happy for you. You're
Okay.
making me feel like I'm not writing enough novels or being in enough movies or doing enough Twitter feed shows.
Nothing seems to help anyway. So I did these things, but I'm still destitute. So it doesn't matter. But at least I can talk about them, and that's fun.
Well, it matters to me.
I know.
Seán, I'm going to end. So there's a little thing. Don't press it yet. There's a little thing that says leave meeting at the
Okay.
end. That's how you get out. But I want you to, just my last little tip. I
Mhm.
want you to, so now I'm going to be this person again.
Okay. Hi.
And I've been talking way too long. Like now you're just annoyed. Like I won't let you get, how do you stop somebody from talk? So now I've just been like, and also I have a dog and my husband is sitting right there and he loves me so much. It is
You
so
know
much.
what? Do you know what? I think it's time for you to be quiet now. You've done your piece, and we all appreciate it. Thank you, though. Thank you. You have a lovely husband who loves you. Get your love from him.
Thank you, Seán.
Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful quarantine.
You as well. Bye.
Bye.
Well, now you hit the. Oh my God, dreams do come true. That is Seán Cullen, everybody, who I love. And for any comics, for anybody out there who wants to become a stand-up comic, that's a tip for you of how to do crowd work. That's a tip for me to how to do crowd work. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2. Again, if you have any tips you want to give me, you can DM me. I don't know how to tell you to do that. And stay tuned for the next one, which may or may not happen because maybe this will be too hard tomorrow and I'll decide not to do it. Happy quarantine, everybody. I hope you are safe and healthy and happy and surrounded by love and, you know, not being too hard on yourself if you're not doing all the things. All the things. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening. Oh, I keep doing this. Now, okay. Bye, everybody.